Hi, this is day 15 of tarot combos. If we keep on track to do them daily, which I hope to do. And this is where we pull 2 cards and look at the energies. Keep it simple. So thank you for being here. Let's see what's with us today. We have the 5 of Wands. Look at that. This is like somebody playing chess, which I think is an interesting depiction for this card because I haven't really seen that analogy in the artwork before, or the symbolism. And then the 6 of Wands. Ooh, weird and cool. We have the 5 of Wands and the 6 of Wands as challenging energies. And I think it's interesting and weird because a lot of times in tarot we think about the progression of the numbers from one to another, like 5 to 6, and like the progression from one to another versus like the tension between the two. They usually feel like a natural unfolding sometimes from one to the next. So anyway, that's immediately what I think of. So on the surface here, if I think about like one word to summarize each card just to get us rolling, it's like ego, and the 6 of Wands being, people say success, but it's more like the expression. No, that's not the word I want. It's like the surface level, look at me, look what all I've done, look how successful I am. It's kind of the showiness. And this ego is not so much like ego as in look how great I am. It is like look at me, look at what I've done, look at this, look what I have, or look what I can do. And it's the way that interplay, that is held within other, like the realm of everyone is doing that. We're all doing that. Like that's what ego is. It's like, look at mine, but we're not really looking and giving each other the attention we so desperately desire, because we're all the center of our own story. We're all the center of our own world. We literally are the center. We look around and everything is in relation to us. Unless you are one of those magical creatures who can put yourself literally like see things from another's point of view and really even look back at yourself from that point of view in a very like detached, in the best sense, way, like an impersonal or objective way, which, as we know, is hard to have some sort of objective view about a subjective self. So there's both of these appear to be about the ego sense of self. So it's interesting how this is like competitive, like friendly rivalry, and my ideas of success and what makes me seem or feel successful. More about seem successful. There's a lot of surface level stuff happening here. So to me, where this takes me is like, we're all doing this. Let's acknowledge that that's just the nature of the human mind, is that there is such a thing as ego. And that word is so hard to talk about on the surface, because a lot of us have a surface level understanding of like, what, ego being bad, and ego being like egotistical, and ego being like the thing we have to kill and whatever. There's so much baggage around that word, so it's hard to talk about succinctly, which I'm not really good at anyway. So there's just knowing like there's this tension between, we're all the main character in our story, and then you throw in the 6 of Wands, which says, and here's what I want people to see me as. I want them to see these good, like all the good things I want people to see in me, and see me as expressing. And attribute all of those good things to me. So there's not a lot of balance to me showing up with just these two cards. It's about how do we recognize, it's almost like part of me wants to say, how do we give that to one another? Because this card, usually the 5 is usually one of like recognizing where I'm going, hey, I'm the center of my story and I'm not giving you the attention you want and you're not giving me the attention I want. We're just all here saying, like, staying separate, staying like saying, here's what I want. Everybody's like, well, here's what I want. And nobody's really considering the other. And then there's this deep desire that says, but I want to be considered. I want you to see me. I want you to see me. And so there is a tension here. Like when I said originally, like from 5 to 6, we think of a progression, but this is showing up as a tension. And now it's, to me, the more I talk, it's becoming more clear of just like, how do we, like, what is that? What is being asked of us? When I think we're being asked to like give, like, that's a gift we can give each other, right? That attention that says, I see you. I see you for who you want me to see you as, not my judgments of you, who I think you are, but like giving the gift of like, yes, you, I see you. I see you for as you want to be seen. Because I swear, in the moment, we are all working through our own stuff at our own pace, and sometimes that pace is really slow, as if it's almost imperceptible because maybe we're not actively doing it. But anyway, we're working through our stuff. And so at different points on our journey, at different layers, different dimensions, different phases, however you want to characterize this, I might want to be seen in a different light. I might be ready to be seen or not seen. I might, so it's like, no matter what somebody else's judgment is of me, I might just say, hey, yeah, all that aside, I'll give some credence to how you might be judging me. Maybe I behaved in a way, whatever. But right now, I want you to see me as blah, like loving, amazing, like invincible, or like I need you to see me as like whatever. Maybe I need you to see me while I'm in my lowest of lows, without judgment. So because the ego, the wands like can carry judgment with them in terms of like the ego card here and this, the other wands, not so much. The two that are showing up, let me think, seem to be the ones that carry the most ego-ness about them. Because usually wands are like fire, passion, motivation, drive, spirit energy, and these two are probably, I don't know, somebody can correct me, might be the two most egocentric ones that say, yeah, but what about me? So what does that bring up for you? This idea that yes, let's acknowledge that we're all the main character in our story, no matter how altruistic we might think we are or feel we are, no matter how compassionate, empathetic, whatever, we're still our own main character. That's just being human with a human mind. Now, the most enlightened beings have like stripped away everything, that has to do with ego, perhaps, and made friends with it. Said, you are useful to get me through daily life, but I don't need to give you any more energy or credence than that. I don't know why credence. Maybe I need to listen to some CCR today. That word keeps coming up. But anyway, I don't need to make you bigger than you are. You are useful, and I've healed all the things that made you bigger than you are or smaller than you need to be too, right? So What does that bring up for you? I don't know. That's all I want to ask is what does that bring up for you? Because it's okay to acknowledge that we are egocentric beings in the world instead of saying egocentric as if it was a dirty word. Because I feel like at least I grew up with like, don't you dare be an egomaniac or egocentric or whatever. And I think that just meant keep things in balance. I think that's where we intended that phrase to mean. It's like, keep your ego in check, meaning don't be too big, don't be non existent so that people are walking all over you because you don't have a sense of self value or worth at all. So it's like keeping it in check. So, where do you feel out of balance with that? That's one question. And then the other is something still wants me to ask, how can we because this is all about being seen. This one's about not being seen, and this one's about being seen, if you want to summarize it that way. So it's like, what is this tension between seen and not seen, and how we play act with each other to say, look how great I am, or look what I can do. And like, why can't, and that's always going to be there. Like, let's just acknowledge that we have a sense of self, and that self wants to be actualized and expressed. And how can we also do that while seeing each other in the way that we want to be seen without judging? Say, I'm showing up for you. I see you. I see what you want to be seen as. You want to be seen as loving. I know you're loving. You want to be seen as, do you want to be seen when you're going through hard times? Here, I can be there with you and witness you in your hard times without judgment. So, from the full spectrum of emotions and feelings and thoughts, how can we show up and see each other as we want to be seen? Not the judging kind that's but the like, tell me how you want to be seen. I will give, that's like a gift. I can be that mirror for you. Okay, I think that's all that I'm wanting to say.